The gun is on the kitchen table. Crystal Thompson sits across from it at 3:47 a.m. on a September morning in rural Georgia, her hands flat on the scratched oak surface, and she hasn't moved in 40 minutes. The gun is Brian's, his hunting rifle, the one he keeps in the locked cabinet in the barn. Kept. Past tense. Because Brian doesn't live here anymore. Brian lives with Aita now. The Cherokee woman who worked, at the farmer's market in town. 20 years old. Long black hair. Soft voice. Pregnant. The kitchen is silent except for the ancient refrigerator's hum and the clock ticking and Crystal's breathing, which sounds too loud in the 4,000-square-foot farmhouse that suddenly feels like a mausoleum. On the counter, 3 letters. One from each daughter. Madison's letter says, "Mom, I can't do this anymore. Jake left. He took Emma. I don't know where they went. I can't be a mother right now. Can Emma stay with you for a while?" Emma is 4 years old. Madison is 26. This is the 3rd time she's asked Crystal to take her daughter. Sarah's letter says, "Mom, don't be mad. I'm pregnant again. I know I said I was done after 3, but Marcus really wanted one more and I can't say no to him. Can you help with the kids for a few months? Just until I get back on my feet?" Sarah is 29. Has 3 children under 5. Marcus works construction when he feels like it. Drinks when he doesn't. This will be baby number 4. Rebecca's letter says, "Mom, I need money. $5,000. I know it's a lot, but I'm in trouble. I can't explain over the phone. Please don't tell Dad. Please." Rebecca is 32. Crystal has given her money 17 times in the past 3 years. Never knows what it's for. Rebecca never explains. Never pays it back. Crystal looks at the letters. Looks at the gun. Looks at her hands, 54 years old, calloused, strong, hands that have run a 800-acre farm for 30 years, raised 3 daughters alone while Brian played second fiddle and chased anything in a skirt. The gun isn't loaded. She checked. But she put it on the table anyway. Just to see what it felt like. To have an option. An escape. A way out of being the woman everyone needs and no one sees. That's when the cat appears. Not through the door. Not through a window. It's just suddenly there, sitting on the counter beside Madison's letter, gray fur and yellow eyes, looking at Crystal like it's been waiting for her to notice. "Jesus Christ," Crystal says. Her voice is hoarse. She hasn't spoken aloud in 2 days. "Where the hell did you come from?" The cat blinks. Slow. Deliberate. Crystal should be surprised. Should be scared. Should do something. Instead, she hears herself say, "You here to judge me too? Get in line." The cat jumps from the counter to the table. Sits between Crystal and the gun. Places one paw on the barrel. Looks at her. "I wasn't going to use it," Crystal says. Defensive. I wanted to know it was there. Wanted to know I had a choice." The cat doesn't move its paw. "My husband left me for a pregnant Indian girl young enough to be my daughter. My daughters are disasters who only call when they need something. My granddaughter is about to be dumped on me again. I'm running a farm by myself. I'm 54 years old and I'm so goddamn tired I can't remember the last time I slept through the night." The cat's tail swishes once. "And you know what the worst part is?" Crystal's voice cracks. "The absolute worst part? I saw this coming." Crystal's voice cracks. "The absolute worst part? I saw this coming. I saw all of it coming. I raised 3 girls to be strong and independent, and they all turned into me. Women who can't say no, who give everything, who let weak men ruin them." She looks at the cat. Really looks at it. "I did this. I made them like this. I showed them how to be the strong one. How to hold everything together. How to sacrifice. And now they're drowning and pulling me down with them, and I don't know how to save them without losing myself completely." The cat removes its paw from the gun. Walks to Crystal's side of the table. Sits. Waits. Crystal's hands are shaking. I can't do this anymore. I can't be everyone's solution. Everyone's bank. Everyone's backup plan. I can't. Her voice breaks completely. The cat places its paw on her hand. Warm. Real. Solid. And Crystal Thompson, who hasn't cried in 15 years, who runs a farm that employs 20 people, who held this family together through droughts and debts and her husband's endless infidelities, breaks. She puts her head down on the table. And she sobs. The cat doesn't move. Just sits. One paw on her hand. Witnessing. I've been in the South before. Know these lands. The red clay. The kudzu that chokes everything. The farmhouses that look like fortresses and feel like prisons. Crystal Thompson. 54. Third generation owner of Thompson Farms, 800 acres of peaches, pecans, and pane. Her grandmother started it. Her mother expanded it. Crystal perfected it. Turned it into a multi-million-dollar operation, while raising 3 daughters and managing a husband who never quite grew up. I've been watching this family for months. It's a masterclass in dysfunction wrapped in Southern hospitality and grit. Brian Thompson, 56, handsome in that weathered way some men age into, useless in every way that matters. He was supposed to be Crystal's partner. Instead, he became her employee. Her 4th child. Her greatest disappointment. He left 3 weeks ago. Packed a bag while Crystal was in the North Field dealing with the irrigation system. Left a note. I'm sorry. I need to find myself. I'll always love you. Found himself in Aida's bed. Aida Tsosi. 28. Cherokee. Works at the farmer's market selling handmade jewelry and honey. Pregnant with Brian's baby. The whole county is talking about it. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here because Crystal is about to implode. And when she does, she'll take everyone down with her. 3 daughters who learned everything from her, including how to destroy themselves by being too strong. The gun on the table isn't really about suicide. It's about power. About having one thing, just one thing, that's entirely her choice. Load it or don't. Use it or don't. For once, a decision that affects only her. But she won't use it. I know that. She knows that. What she might do, what she's terrified she'll do, is say no. To the daughters. To the farm. To the role of matriarch that's been choking her for 30 years. And that terrifies her more than dying. Because if Crystal Thompson stops being the strong one, who is she? Let's find out. Crystal sits up. Wipes her face with her sleeve. The cat is still there, paw on her hand, watching with those impossible gold eyes. You want the whole story? She asks. Voice raw. Fine. But I'm getting coffee first. She stands. Her knees protest, they always do now. She walks to the coffee maker. It's 4 a.m. but sleep isn't happening anyway. She pours a cup. Black. Strong enough to strip paint. The cat jumps to the floor. Follows her. Sits by her feet when she leans against the counter. I married Brian when I was 22, Crystal says. Met him at a church picnic. He was 24. Handsome. Charming. Played guitar. All the girls wanted him. But he chose me. She takes a sip. Burns her tongue. Doesn't care. I thought I was lucky. Crystal Harris, the farm girl with dirt under her nails and her mother's old pickup truck, landed Brian Thompson. Everyone said we were perfect together. Young love. Beautiful couple. Bright future. The cat's tail swishes. We got married 6 months later. Small wedding. My mother wasn't thrilled, said I was too young, should finish college first. But I was in love. Thought love was enough. She walks back to the table. Sits. The cat follows. Jumps onto the chair Brian used to sit in. Madison came 10 months later. I was 23. Still trying to figure out being a wife. Suddenly I was a mother. Brian was. She pauses, searching for the right word. Supportive. In theory. He'd hold the baby when I asked. Change a diaper if I begged. But mostly he worked at his dad's hardware store and played in a band on weekends. Crystal stares into her coffee. My mother got sick when Madison was 2. Cancer. Aggressive. She lasted 8 months. Left me the farm. 400 acres back then. She said, don't let it die, Crystal. This land is your inheritance. Your power. Don't give it away. Her voice hardens. So I didn't. I learned everything. How to manage the orchards. How to deal with distributors. How to handle the books. I was 25 years old with a toddler and a farm and a husband who worked part-time at a hardware store. The cat settles into Brian's chair. Closes its eyes halfway. Listening. Sarah came when Madison was 3. Then Rebecca 2 years after that. 3 daughters in 6 years. And the farm kept growing. I bought the adjacent property when the Hendersons went bankrupt. Then the Miller place. Kept expanding. Kept building. She drinks more coffee. Brian quit the hardware store when I was 30. Said he wanted to help with the farm. I was thrilled. Finally, a partner. Someone to share the load. But she laughs bitterly. He wasn't built for it. Didn't have the drive. The discipline. He'd start projects and not finish them. Would sleep in when we had early deliveries. Would forget important meetings. The cat opens its eyes. Looks at her. So I managed him. Like I managed everything else. Gave him simple tasks. Double-checked his work. Made contingency plans for when he failed. And he always failed. Not dramatically. Just consistently. He was the assistant. The helper. Never the partner. She sets down her cup. The girls grew up watching. Watching me run the farm. Watching me manage their father. Watching me handle everything while he played at being useful. And I thought I was teaching them to be strong. To be capable. To not need a man to survive. Her voice drops. I didn't realize I was teaching them to pick weak men. To mother their partners. To sacrifice themselves. The cat stands. Stretches. Walks to Crystal's side of the table. Madison met Jake when she was 19. He was 21. Worked at a gas station. Had big dreams. No follow-through. She got pregnant at 22. They got married. I paid for the wedding. Paid for their apartment. Got Jake a job at the farm. Crystal's hands tightened around the mug. He lasted 6 months. Said farm work was too hard. Too early. Too hot. Madison kept making excuses for him. Kept saying he was trying. Kept working 2 jobs while he figured things out. Emma was born. Madison went back to work 3 weeks later. Left Emma with me during the day. Jake stayed home playing video games. The cat jumps onto the table. Sits directly in front of her. Sarah was smarter. Or I thought she was. Waited until she was 24 to get married. Marcus seemed stable. Had a construction job. Steady income. They dated for 2 years before the wedding. I thought, okay, this one will be different. She laughs. No humor in it. Marcus worked for a year. Then got injured. Nothing major, threw out his back. Got on disability. Never went back to work. Sarah had their first baby at 25. Second at 26. Third at 28. And now. She gestures at the letter. Number 4 on the way. The cat's tail swishes back and forth. Rebecca was the wild one. The rebel. Swore she'd never be like her sisters. Never get trapped. She went to college. Got a degree in marketing. Moved to Atlanta. Had a career. I thought, finally. One of them made it out. Crystal's voice goes flat. Then she met David. Musician. Artist. No real job. Lots of potential. She started supporting him. Paying his rent. Buying his equipment. Loaning him money for his projects. And calling me when she ran out. Just $2,000, Mom. Just this once. 17 times I've given her money. 17 times I've known it was going to David. And I still send it. She looks at the cat. You want to know why? Why I keep giving? Keep fixing? Keep saving them? The cat blinks slowly. Because if I don't, they'll fail. They'll lose their homes. Their kids. Their lives. And it'll be my fault. Because I raised them. I made them this way. I showed them how to be the strong woman married to the weak man. How to sacrifice. How to endure. Tears again. She doesn't wipe them away. I created 3 versions of myself. 3 women who can run the world but can't say no to worthless men. 3 daughters drowning in the same pattern I've been drowning in for 30 years. The cat stands, walks to her, presses against her chest. And Brian. She spits the name. Brian, who I carried for 3 decades. Brian, who I managed and covered for and made excuses for. Brian, who everyone in town thinks is a nice guy. A good man. Poor Brian, married to that hard woman Crystal who runs everything. Her voice rises. He left me. For a girl younger than our oldest daughter. Got her pregnant. And you know what he said when I confronted him? He said, "You made me feel small. You made me feel useless. Aida makes me feel like a man." She's shaking now. Rage and grief and exhaustion. I made him feel small. I made him useless. As if I forced him to be incompetent. As if I chose to carry everything alone. As if I wanted to be the strong one while he played guitar and fucked around and acted like a child. The cat climbs into her lap. Heavy. Warm. Everyone thinks I'm so strong. Crystal Thompson, the Iron Queen. Runs a farm. Raised 3 daughters. Survived her husband's affairs. Oh yes, there were others before Aida. Many others. I just pretended not to know. Pretended it didn't matter. Because acknowledging it would mean making a choice. And I couldn't choose. Couldn't leave. Couldn't disrupt the family. Couldn't fail. She holds the cat like it's the only real thing in her world. My mother told me, don't let the farm die. She meant the land. The business. But I heard, don't let the family die. Don't let anything fall apart. Hold it together no matter what. Her voice breaks completely. So I did. I held it together. Held everyone together. And it killed me. Slowly. Piece by piece. I disappeared into the role. The matriarch. The fixer. The bank. The answer to everyone's problems. The cat purrs. Deep and steady. And now Emma's coming. Again. 4th time Madison's dumped her daughter on me. And Sarah wants help with 4 kids under 6. And Rebecca needs $5,000 for God knows what. And Brian is gone. And I'm alone in this giant house on this giant farm with all this giant responsibility and I. She can't finish. Just holds the cat and cries. Outside, the farm is waking up. The eastern sky is getting lighter. Soon the workers will arrive. The day will start. Decisions will need to be made. The peaches won't pick themselves. The accounts won't balance themselves. The family won't fix itself. But right now, in this moment, Krista lets herself break. The cat climbs up. Presses its face against hers. Purrs so loud it vibrates through her chest. I don't know how to stop. Krista whispers. Don't know how to say no. Don't know how to let them fail. Don't know how to not be the strong one. The cat pulls back. Looks at her with those gold eyes. And Crystal hears, somewhere deep inside, not the cat's voice, but her own voice, the one she's been ignoring for 3 decades. What if you don't have to be strong? What if you can just be honest? The cat jumps from Crystal's lap. Walks to the letters on the counter. Sits on them. Those aren't yours, Crystal says. But she doesn't move to take them. The cat looks at her. Deliberate. Pointed. You think I shouldn't answer them, Crystal says. You think I should let them figure it out themselves. The cat's tail swishes. You don't understand. Emma is 4 years old. She didn't ask for any of this. If I say no, where does she go? What happens to her? The cat doesn't move. And Sarah, she's pregnant. Again. Yes, it's her fault. Her choice. But the baby didn't choose Marcus as a father. The baby needs. The cat meows. Sharp. Almost angry. Crystal stops. Stares at the cat. What? The cat stands on the letters. Looks at Crystal. Then deliberately, slowly, pushes Madison's letter off the counter. It falls to the floor. Hey. The cat pushes Sarah's letter. It joins Madison's. Stop. Rebecca's letter. Off the counter. Onto the floor. The cat sits on the empty counter. Looks at Crystal. And Crystal understands. You think they're not my responsibility, she says slowly. You think I'm enabling them. Making it worse. The cat blinks. But I'm their mother. It's my job to help them. To support them. Too. The cat jumps down. Walks to the gun on the table. Sits beside it. Looks at Crystal. Then at the gun. Then back at Crystal. I told you I wasn't going to. The cat places its paw on the gun. Not covering it. Just touching it. Acknowledging it. And Crystal gets it. You're saying I have a choice, she whispers. You're saying the gun isn't the only way out. That I can choose differently. That saying no is also a choice. The cat purrs. Crystal sits very still. The kitchen is lighter now. Dawn coming. The farm waking up. If I say no to Madison, Emma goes into foster care. Or stays with Jake's parents. Or I don't know. But not here. Not with me. Again. The cat doesn't move. If I say no to Sarah, she has to figure it out herself. Has to make Marcus step up or leave him. Has to choose herself instead of waiting for me to save her. The cat's purring intensifies. If I say no to Rebecca, she has to face whatever trouble she's in. Has to deal with David. Has to grow up. Crystal's hands are shaking again. And if I do that, if I say no to all of them, I'm not the good mother anymore. I'm the hard mother. The cruel mother. The one who abandoned them when they needed me. The cat stands. Walks to Crystal. Places both paws on her knee. Looks up at her. Or that voice inside says, you're the honest mother. The one who finally told the truth. I can't save you. You have to save yourselves. Crystal looks down at the cat. At those impossible gold eyes that seem to see everything. I'm scared, she admits. Terrified. What if they hate me? What if they never speak to me again? What if something terrible happens and it's my fault because I said no? The cat climbs into her lap again. Settles. Warm and solid and real. But also, Crystal's voice gets stronger. What if they're capable? What if Madison is actually a good mother when I'm not there to fall back on? What if Sarah leaves Marcus and discovers she's better alone? What if Rebecca figures out she doesn't need David or my money? She strokes the cat's head. What if I've been holding them back? What if my strength has made them weak? The cat purrs. Affirmation, maybe? Or just warmth? Crystal sits there for a long time. The sun rises. Light floods the kitchen. The farmhouse creaks and settles. Outside, she hears trucks arriving. Workers starting their shifts. The farm continues. Finally, she stands. The cat jumps down. Watches. Crystal walks to the counter. Picks up the letters from the floor. Smooths them out. Lines them up. Then she picks up her phone. Dials Madison. It rings 4 times. Madison answers, voice thick with sleep. Mom? It's 6 a.m. Is everything? No, Crystal says. Everything is not okay. But I can't fix it for you this time. Silence. Then, what? Emma can't come here. I love her. Love you? But I can't raise her again. You're her mother. Jake is her father. You need to figure it out. Together or separately. But not by giving her to me. Mom, I don't have anyone else. Then you'll have to be enough. You're capable, Madison. You're smart and strong, and you can do this. But you can't do it if I keep doing it for you. Her daughter's voice gets smaller. Are you saying no? Yes. I'm saying no. Silence. Long enough that Crystal thinks Madison might have hung up. Then, I don't know how. Neither did I. But you learn. You have to. Mom, I'm scared. Crystal closes her eyes. I know, baby. I know. But you can do scared. I've seen you do scared. You just can't do scared while I carry you. More silence. I have to go, Madison says. Voice cold now. Hurt. I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe I waited this long, Crystal says. And hangs up. Her hands are shaking. Her chest is tight. Every instinct screams to call back. To fix it. To say of course Emma can come. But she doesn't. She dials Sarah. Sarah doesn't take it well. You're abandoning us, she says. Voice shrill. You're punishing me for getting pregnant. I'm telling you I can't help anymore. Crystal interrupts. You're 29 years old. You have 3 children. About to have 4. And a husband who doesn't work. I've been subsidizing your life for 5 years. Groceries. Rent. Daycare. Doctor bills. And it's not helping. It's enabling. Enabling? I'm trying to keep my family together. By doing everything yourself while Marcus sits on the couch? That's not a family, Sarah. That's you being married to another child. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. I did the same thing. For 30 years. And look where it got me. Sarah is crying now. I thought you'd understand. I thought you of all people. I do understand. That's why I'm saying no. You're repeating my mistakes. And I won't help you do it anymore. So what am I supposed to do? Make Marcus be a father. Or leave him. But stop waiting for me to save you. I can't leave him. I have 4 kids. You'll have 4 kids either way. At least without him you won't have 5. Sarah gasps. That's cruel. That's honest. The line goes dead. Sarah hung up. Crystal stands there, phone in her hand, heart pounding. The cat brushes against her leg. One more, Crystal says. Voice shaking. She dials Rebecca. Rebecca answers immediately. Mom, thank God. Did you get my letter? Can you? No, Crystal says. What? No. I can't send you money. Not this time. Not any time. I'm done. Mom, you don't understand. I'm in serious trouble. I owe. Then you need to deal with it. Call the people you owe. Make a payment plan. Get a second job. Figure it out. I can't figure it out. That's why I'm asking for help. You're asking for money. Not help. Money so you can avoid dealing with David. With your choices. With reality. Rebecca's voice goes cold. So that's it? You're just cutting me off? I'm stopping the cycle. You're 32 years old. You have a degree. You're capable. But you've never had to be because I always swooped in. I'm your daughter. And I'm failing you by making things easy. By teaching you that there's always a safety net. There isn't. Not anymore. This is because of Dad, isn't it? Because he left. You're taking it out on us. Crystal laughs. Hollow. Your father left because I enabled him to. Made it too easy to be useless. I won't do that anymore. Not to him. Not to you. So we're all supposed to figure it out alone? That's your solution? No. You're supposed to figure it out yourselves. Not alone. You have each other. You have friends. You have resources. You just don't have me as a crutch anymore. I can't believe this. Believe it. I love you. All of you. But I'm done being the answer to everything. I'm done disappearing into the role of fixer. I'm done. She hangs up, sets the phone down, and collapses into the chair. The cat jumps into her lap. She wraps her arms around it and shakes. Not crying. Just shaking. Release or terror or both. I did it, she whispers. Oh God, I actually did it. The cat purrs. They hate me. They all hate me. Madison hung up on me. Sarah called me cruel. Rebecca thinks I'm punishing them. The cat presses closer. Maybe I am cruel. Maybe I'm. The cat places its paw over her mouth. Gentle but firm. Crystal stops. Takes a breath. No, she says. Voice steadier. No, I'm not cruel. I'm honest. For the first time in 30 years, I'm being honest. She holds the cat. Rocks slightly. The sun is fully up now. The kitchen is bright. The farm is operating. What do I do now? She asks the cat. The universe. Herself. The cat climbs up. Presses its forehead against hers. And Crystal knows. The next 3 weeks are hell. Madison doesn't call. Doesn't text. Radio silence. Sarah calls once. Screams at Crystal for 20 minutes about family loyalty, and how she's ruined everything and how she'll regret this. Then hangs up. Doesn't call again. Rebecca sends a cold email. Thanks for nothing. Don't expect to hear from me again. The silence is crushing. Crystal walks through the farm like a ghost. Manages operations on autopilot. Sleeps in fits. Loses weight. The workers notice. Ask if she's okay. She says she's fine. She's not fine. But she doesn't call them. Doesn't apologize. Doesn't send money. She sits with the discomfort. The guilt. The fear that she's destroyed everything. The cat comes back. Not every night. But enough. It appears through windows that Crystal doesn't remember opening. Sits with her. Purrs. Leaves before dawn. On day 17, Crystal gets a text from Madison. Jake moved out. I'm doing this alone. It's hard. But I'm doing it. Emma asks about you. Crystal stares at the text for an hour before responding. You're stronger than you know. I'm proud of you. Madison doesn't respond. But she doesn't have to. On day 21, Sarah calls. Not screaming this time. Voice quiet. I told Marcus he needed to get a job or leave. He left. Took his stuff. I'm filing for divorce. Crystal's heart clenches. Are you okay? No. But I will be. Maybe. I don't know. I'm scared, Mom. I know, baby. I'm not calling for money. I know. I'm calling to say. I think I understand. What you meant. About enabling. Crystal closes her eyes. Thank you? I'm still angry at you. I know. But I get it. They talk for 10 minutes. Not about money. Not about logistics. Just talk. Sarah tells her about the kids. About how hard it is. About how she's applying for jobs. About how terrified and free she feels. It's the most honest conversation they've had in years. Rebecca doesn't call. Doesn't email. But Crystal sees on Facebook, she still checks, can't help it, that Rebecca blocked David. Changed her relationship status to single. Posted a photo of herself at a new job. It's something. On day 28, Crystal wakes up and realizes the tightness in her chest is gone. She's not fine. Not happy. But she's lighter. She walks to the kitchen. The gun is gone. She put it back in the barn cabinet where it belongs. The letters are gone, thrown out after the calls. The cat is sitting on the table. Waiting. You came back, Crystal says. The cat blinks. They're figuring it out. Not perfectly. It's messy. They're struggling. But they're doing it. The cat purrs. And I'm. She pauses, testing the words. I'm not responsible for fixing it. I'm just responsible for loving them. That's enough. The cat stands. Walks to her. Rubs against her legs. Crystal picks it up. Holds it. The weight is comforting. Brian called yesterday, she says. From Aida's place. The baby was born. A boy. He wanted me to know. The cat's ears twitch. I said congratulations. And I meant it. Not because I forgive him. Not because everything's fine. But because I don't care anymore. He's not my problem. He's hers now. She sits at the table. The cat in her lap. I'm selling half the farm, she says. Already talked to a developer. They want 400 acres for a conservation project. I'll keep 400. Downsize the operation. Hire a real manager. Work less. Live more. The cat purrs louder. And I'm going back to school. Online program. Agricultural business management. Not because I need it. Because I want it. Because I finally have time for what I want. She looks down at the cat. I spent 30 years being the queen. The matriarch. The one who held everything together. And it nearly killed me. But I'm not that anymore. I'm just Crystal. And that's enough. The cat climbs up her chest. Presses its head under her chin. Crystal holds it. Rocks gently. Outside, the farm continues. The peaches grow. The pecans ripen. The land endures. But inside, something has shifted. The prison of responsibility has opened. The queen has abdicated. And the woman underneath, tired, scarred, but free, is finally breathing. I leave at dawn. Crystal is asleep in the chair, coffee cold beside her, a slight smile on her face. She'll be okay. Not immediately. Not easily. But she's on the path. Madison will struggle. Will call Crystal crying in the middle of the night. But she won't ask her to take Emma. She'll just ask for advice. For encouragement. And Crystal will give it. Without fixing it. Sarah will move back to Georgia. We'll rent a small house near the farm. We'll lean on Crystal sometimes. But not too much. We'll learn to ask for help without demanding rescue. Rebecca will take longer. Might take years. But eventually she'll reach out. Not for money. For connection. For the mother she lost when Crystal became the fixer. And Crystal will downsize. We'll travel. We'll date, maybe, though not seriously. We'll rediscover hobbies she abandoned 30 years ago. We'll be a grandmother who spoils but doesn't raise. A mother who loves but doesn't enable. A woman who finally lives for herself. The Iron Queen will rust a little. Soften. Become human. That's enough. I slip through the window. Onto the porch. Into the Georgia morning. There's a woman in New Orleans I need to visit. A musician. 26. Brilliant. Sabotaging herself because success feels like betrayal. She needs to know excellence isn't selfish. And there's a teenager in Seattle. 15. Cutting herself. Parents don't notice. She needs to know pain can be spoken instead of carved. And there's a grandmother in Maine. 83. Dying. Hasn't told her family because she doesn't want to burden them. She needs permission to be mortal. This is what I do. Visit. Listen. Witness. Leave. The stories continue. The pain continues. But so does the healing.